Welcome. Another episode of Bocce Dome. Here we are again. I'm Tony Palermo. I think most of you must know me by now. Tonight we'll be talking about the Bocceroos and our trip in Turkey last year, the World Championships. And joining me tonight, we have some of the elite players that went over there. Starting from the top there was Sammy Scooter Bascucci. How are you, mate?
I'm great, Tony. How are you?
I'm fantastic, mate. Daniel Samsa. This is the other part of the Sensationals. We've met Nicole, but we haven't met Daniel. So welcome, Daniel.
Good to finally be here. Glad I can join the show for once instead of just...
Yes, and not be behind the scenes doing all the hard work.
Hit the wrong spot on the screen, Tony. I see you on the bottom left this week instead of the top left.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's okay. I've been shoved out. I think I've been demoted. Sammy's taken over. And one of our regular panellists, the Disco, Dino Mikulik himself. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Good to be back, Polly. All around.
It was us four guys that went over to Turkey. There was another bocce athlete, Angelo Parisi, that's not with us tonight, but he was the other fifth member of the team when we went over to Turkey. And just on that, I just want to mention it was my first experience at a World Championship, and I was thrilled to put on the Aussie Guernsey, and what it meant to me personally, and what it meant to be part of the team. It was fantastic.
Look, I think personally it wasn't my best experience or best effort at a World Championship. I've been to a few now, but the camaraderie of this team, the bond of this particular team was just second to none.
It meant a lot because we worked together as a team for these Oceania Championships, and we got a gold medal in most events to qualify, and it was just great to follow on with you guys, train, and to get there. It meant a lot more than previous years for me.
Oh, that's good.
See how it was a lot of work to get there. I remember in the Asia Shana in the double rapid, we got an Australian record. We got medals in almost every other event. So it kind of pushed us along, and I felt that this team was very strong, and we kind of bonded together very closely, which is obviously a positive.
During the week, we had Daniel Samsa organise a meeting with our special guest, Ian Campbell. For those who are not familiar with Ian Campbell represented Australia in 1980 Olympic Games in Moscow, competing in the triple jump event. Ian managed to break the Olympic record, which would have awarded him the gold medal, only to be denied following the judge's decision. However, Ian has managed to navigate his way through all this controversy and continued on with his professional life. He's currently the founder and the CEO of his own organisation, Primco Testing Systems. It's a company which is developed to measure the individual's athletic abilities in all elite sports. And Bocce Australia have been lucky enough to have worked with Ian and Primco in the past. He's also held some other executive positions, such as he was the Director of Sports and Marketing at Nike Sports Entertainment. He was also the Director of Marketing and Retail of Seoul Olympic Games. And he was also the CEO of the Richmond Football Club. Let's take a listen to Ian's journey with Daniel.
I was in the best shape of my life, and broke the Olympic record a couple of times, and on the third jumped about 17 metres 52, which has been proven now by Victoria University, and Athletics Australia recognise that performance as the gold medal winning jump. However, our good friends at the World Athletics and and the IOC said, well, it's a long time ago, we can't do anything about it. And I guess the frustration is, Daniel, is that I got injured. I had a career-ending injury to my ankle in February of 81, which I never recovered from. And so I retired a year later at 24.
So how did you get through all that? Especially like you said that you had to retire afterwards with that injury. How did you get through the hardship and I guess come through on the other side and look positively back on it a little bit?
Yeah, look, I think, everybody, even outside the stadium, Russians came up to me and said, this is a travesty, you're the champ, all this and so on. So this went on for years. I mean, I go to places now and people that know the story, even dare I say it, 40 years later, go, well, this is the guy that should have won the Olympic gold medal, and sort of I'm standing there going, what do you say to that? And people look at you like, what do you mean should have, and what are you talking about? It's all too weird. So I think in that sense that I've appreciated over the years, my peers and a lot of people that are involved in the sports industry and so on and so forth.
I think it's comparable in our sport to Dino's experience, I think,
Which
where
one?
it was...
Which one? There's been that many.
The one that really hurts me is the one from 4 or 5 years ago in Rijeka. And even though that was a bronze medal, playing for a guaranteed silver, that's the one that I can't get proper sleep over. I'm always dreaming about it and thinking about how it just went horribly wrong at the very end there, where I had the world champion on toast. So for me, it never ends. It's always in the back of my mind. In recent times, it's actually wilted away a little bit, but it's always there. There is some sort of reminder of that particular situation when I'm throwing for the game and I've missed my last 3 shots. So, I'll never get that opportunity back. Well, I should never say never, but it's just a wasted opportunity. None of the opposition fazed me at that time. I just felt as though I belonged, and I was in the mix, and I could see by the way I was playing that I was as good as those people that were over there, and I deserved to be there. And each one of us who have been overseas and put on the green and gold, when you arrive there, you have to believe that you belong on that court and you can do special things,
For me, that was my first time over there. I know for years, Dino's been telling me, he goes, we're not that far off. I always thought Dino was just saying that to give us all a bit of confidence, But, when I was over there, I've got to tell you, I felt very comfortable.
Despite our distance, I feel that we do compete, and I think almost overperform than what you'd expect. Like, I feel that we're definitely there, that we can compete with them, and give it a year with good practice, we will beat them.
You think about when you play your best, you're basically unbeatable. Now, why can't your best be taken from here to overseas against those other players? Because it's no different. When they play their best and you play at your best, it's at the same level, if you know what I mean. You can hit 100% of the balls, but you've got to be able to do it over there in front of those guys. And you shouldn't worry about the opposition and who it is. You should just worry about yourself. And that's where that mental toughness comes in. You've got to believe. You've got to believe in yourself. And you can take your good game from here over there and actually grab a couple of medals.
In one of our events, our progressive, it's very important that each shuttle is very consistent, especially because we're running over 5 minutes and we need to get as many throws out as we can without obviously overexerting ourselves and not being able to make it to the end. And I remember you had automatic testers to make sure each of our shuttles were very similar times. And that's something I've been working on for those past years. I know you said obviously you've got to use your feel, but I do feel there is a part for that type of training.
Oh yeah, and no question. I mean, in my day, we were using a tape measure because a lot of our stuff was standing long jumps and different jump exercises. We'd be tested 40 times a week. So, which is non-digital, and that's jump-related testing and some sprint stuff. But that information is so important to your training development and so on and so forth. But the critical thing is that not to let the test rule your whole philosophy. Some people and some teams fall into that trap where the athletes end up training to do the tests rather than training to do the competition.
One thing that was very interesting in his delivery of all that sort of stuff was that Harry said to you, Daniel, that there's no set format of how you do things. It's what best suits the individual. Like all you guys, how you throw. You all throw a ball, try to hit a target, but the way you actually go about the process is all different. And he reckons that's good too. That you made that quite strong, that point.
I think when you reach a certain level, it's totally mental. It's all in the head. that's another game altogether. That's another thing you got to work on. So there's always some training to do to reach that level and improve.
But it's all muscle memory. So that's the repetitive of doing things. It's muscle memory, and then everything's above your shoulders. It's really a mental game, mental toughness.
So that's where something like athletics and triple jump is kind of very similar to bocce, because like I imagine the way they do training is by just jumping a lot. Maybe not exactly the triple jump, but they'll be doing some form of jumping training. And same with us, we might not be doing a full progressive every time we train, but it's always going to be related to that throw.
I still think the preparation needs to be sort of worked on, and I guess that's where Ian, I thought his company would probably help us as well.
Yeah, and by using the testing which correlates to our sport in terms of, because our sport is the running sport also. You got those different facets, not just traditional game, but also the athletic events.
Yeah.
It's highly technical, and the testing is pivotal to improving your game, I believe.
All right, I guess that moves us up to the what happens next segment. This is the fun segment each week where we show a video of something that's happened in a bocce game or something to do with bocce. And let's have a look at the clip.
Looks like it's up to you, Frank. Here we go. Green's my favourite colour. Oh, well, I actually think, have we got...
Okay, as we can see, Frank's bowling skills leave a lot to be desired there. I think he just better leave the bocce playing up to us guys and concentrate on his presidency, where he does a very, very, very good job.
Yeah, lucky he wasn't playing doubles with you in Turkey, Tony.
Yeah, lucky. All right, congratulations to all those who tapped in and guessed it correctly. I guess we'll move on to this week's one. This week's one is, it's a funny one because I know the gentleman that's involved here. But we had the Hong Kong team who were doing a little bit of loosening up and a bit of aerobics in between their games. And we thought we'd just capture something on film. Have a look at it. Alrighty, so I'd love to see what people reply back to that one. It's very interesting, but let me tell you that when you see it the next episode, it's very, very funny. All right, that wraps up another night in the Bocce Dome. Just like to thank our panellists, Sammy Scooter Pascuzzi.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
It's great having you here, mate.
Thank you.
And Samsational, Daniel Samsa. Thanks very much, mate.
Thanks for...
And it's good seeing you on the screen and not behind on the editing machine and then the video clips that you do every week for us. Thanks for joining us. And to Mr. Iconic himself, Dino Disco Mikulik. Thanks again, mate. Great contribution.
Look forward to the next one, Polly.
Yeah, I like that, Polly. That's good. And also to Ian Campbell, just like to say thank you for giving up his time. I know the guy's a very busy man, and I think it's a bit of a coup for us to have him involved in bocce. I think it's fantastic. And again, BA for making this all possible. Thank you very much. Until we see each other next time in the Bocce Dome, just remember, if you're not playing bocce, you're not loving life. Cheers and good night. See you next time.